High school is tough for me.
The people who you think are going to be there aren't there. I couldn't believe that so many people were going to see that.
I went to 4 different high schools.
Oh, I did that. And then the numbers started rolling in, and it's like millions and millions and millions saw the trailer. I didn't know how to get into my own body again after. I was living in a fever dream for months. This is so cool.
Last day of filming, that doesn't mean the movie's over.
It all came like crashing down. To then just like come home and be alone, I was so lost. It was so confusing for really high highs and a lot of really low lows. To say Thanksgiving changed my life is like an understatement.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Busy Brain podcast. And Jenna, welcome to the Busy Brain podcast.
Thank you so much, Reese. I am so excited.
Why do I feel like we're making history?
We're back, bitches. This is going to be an exciting episode, and we just got to dive right into it.
So I'm Jenna. I am from a really small town in northern Ontario, and now I'm in Los Angeles. I'm an actress, and how we connected was through TikTok. I used to work for a hockey team, and I would see your videos all the time when you did like your DIY outfits for Owen Sound, and because I was running the social accounts, I would see it. And I was like, this girl is so cool. I love everything about her. I love her vibe. And then we started following each other, and then it was almost like an instant, like, you should come on the podcast.
It was like, hey you.
Yeah.
Because I've been looking at your stuff. I was like, oh my God, wait a damn minute. This girl's so iconic. Okay, wait. So we love that. I feel like this question is always something that I find really explain someone. And it's how your friend would see you if they were sitting in my position and they were going to explain you to me, or sorry, vice versa, sitting in your position, and they're going to explain you to me. How would they explain you?
I love that. My friends always call me Sunshine and say that my color is like yellow. I hope that speaks volumes about my character and how I present myself. I'm super loyal. I have a very close, small circle, and I like to keep it that way just because I care so much about people. So I would say sunshine, loyal. I try and be funny, but I'm just I don't know, it doesn't always hit.
It's like the when you're trying to be unintentionally funny.
Yeah, I think that's it. I have Adam Sandler humor. Very dry. Sometimes it hits and sometimes it doesn't.
It depends on the crowd.
Depends on the crowd, depends on the day.
So who'd you hang around in high school? What was your kind of crowd in high school?
High school was tough for me. I went to 4 different high schools.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it wasn't the best time, and honestly, I've blocked a lot of it out. I keep in touch with a few people, but yeah, I didn't really find my circle until I was in college, and I'm so thankful that they came into my life when they did. It was really hard just wanting a really good group of girls, and I didn't really have that experience, and everything happens for a reason, as we've talked about so much. But I would have waited 10 more years to meet the friends that I have now. So,
So you'd say in high school, you'd say more girls than if anything, you didn't find that, you mentioned just finding that girl group.
Yeah.
You found that now, but, or was it just more so not kind of fitting into its circle?
Yeah, I would say the second point, I had a lot of really good guy friends, and I played a lot of sports. I was in acting. I wasn't really into a lot of the things that maybe high school girls kind of found value in at that time. I was just so busy, always on the go. So I think that I really found really close friends in my male relationships, I guess. And those are the people who I still am in contact today from high school with.
That says something for sure. It means that relationship was strong enough in itself to last this long, right?
And guys and girls can be friends. It just
you just can have a friendly relationship.
Totally, yeah. So that's kind of where we are.
Kind of the take on that one.
Yeah.
And with your friends now, would you say they're all within your career, or would you say that it's kind of everywhere?
Yeah, The friends I met in college are all so creative. They all have their own businesses. They're in photography, videography, marketing. So I think everyone has that creative tie, but everyone is so different at the same time. But I think that's what makes us kind of work, is because we all have something to relate to, but in such like vast, in such a vast way that it makes sense.
Yeah.
And so supportive of each other.
And you can all talk about different things, and it's not like such a repetitive cycle and the same stuff all the time. Yeah,
totally.
no, that makes total sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything that your friends would say that is like a part of your character that would surprise you or surprise like the audience?
Let me think.
Because like personally, I would say like your account
what surprised
online, you come off a little more serious.
Yeah.
And I think when I met you like one-to-one, it was way more of, you're very personable, you're very relatable, authentic, very down to earth, and have a big heart. Like, I think that a lot of us within, like, and I'm only within the social media industry, but I'm assuming, like, correct me if I'm wrong, within the acting industry would be the same, is there's a lot of personas that are made online that within, in person, it's very easy for people like us to question that, right? And to like let that play out. So I think that meeting you in person, or if anyone were to meet you in person, getting a coffee with you for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes even, would give someone like an in-depth understanding of who you are. Like your presence in a room is noticeable.
Thank you.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with the online to in person. I've been told that a lot. Maybe it's because not that I don't care enough to have it translate, but I just know that the people who I value see me and are in my personal life and know that I am very kind and in the moment and grounded, and that social media is just, it's there. I used to really focus on what other people thought of me because I was so insecure. I wanted everyone to like me. I still think I struggle with that a little bit, but I'm way more confident than I used to be. So I obviously care and value what people think of me and my reputation and how I come across, but at the same time, you really wouldn't know unless you sat down with me. Yeah. So I take it with a grain of salt, and once upon a time, everything was super curated, and I wanted to do everything right. I wanted to make sure that I was coming across in a really good way. But now I hold the people who are actually in my life, their opinions matter to me.
Within social media, there's a story that we put out online, right? And whether we like it or not, our account is a story, it's a persona, it's a made-up thing. What would you think is something that separates your life offline versus something online? So say hobby to just maybe a story that wouldn't make it online because it's not a highlight reel, and it is something that maybe was a pivotal part in your life or took a toll, but has led you to where you are now.
Yeah. I used to struggle a lot with anxiety, and it was crippling, which is why I went to 4 different high schools. I went through a few rounds of therapy, and it goes back to sort of the insecurity, to not believing in myself, the industry that I was in, and of course I didn't feel comfortable sharing that online because I'm already judging myself. I don't need people to do that before I was ready to sort of accept it, I guess. So that is something that I keep pretty private. I think that as I've gotten older, I value privacy more as I've sort of grown a little bit more with my public presence. So I think my personal relationships I keep offline now. Not to say that I wouldn't, post something every now and then, but I don't live for the post anymore, which is something that I used to do a lot. I used to want to show people all the time what I was doing because maybe I thought that they would like me more if they saw that I was doing something cool, and I just wanted their like approval. Totally. And that's something it's not a pivotal value of mine anymore.
Okay, well, that's huge, obviously, and you will learn that even more, like we both would. Like, as you get older, like, you realize people's opinions should mean very little in certain ways, for sure. So I think that in itself, would you say that that was, like, a high school thing? Like, you kept, like, why for? Like, were there any reason to, like, leaving the high schools? Like...
Yeah, I felt like I was drowning, and all I wanted to do was to be, like I said, accepted by, like, my peers and people who I really wanted to like me. And I would eat lunch in the bathroom at school in high school. I remember when Ask FM was a thing.
Yeah.
There would be so many threads that I would see about me that I didn't learn of until I saw it, and I never really understood why. And I always would be so open if people would. I never talk about my acting in high school. I never spoke of it unless someone asked me about it. And so with that, it's not like I was gatekeeping anything. If anyone wanted to know something, I would be like, this is how you get an agent. This is how you can go about auditions. I can help you put this together. We can do a photo shoot after school. I was so willing to help people, but that was never, I guess, it was never, like, received, and it just, like, it became so hard to go to school. And then I tried to, like, escape the girls who were giving me a hard time, and then they ended up transferring schools. And so I was like, I can't do this. So then before that even happened, I was like, you know what, I think I need to go to a different school because I can't go through that again. So I avoided the problem before it happened, and then I went to my dad's high school, and it was really great for a few years. And then,
like, you taught at that high school?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it got really hard, and I didn't understand. I thought, what is wrong with me that I'm a nice person, I care about people, I want to include everyone, so what am I doing that is creating this like stress in my life and maybe causing people to not,
want to surround themselves with me.
Yeah, and it was such a mind fuck, honestly.
It is a mind fuck.
And, like, I would sleep in my dad's office. I didn't go to 3/4 of my grade 11 year in high school because I was so depressed and I was so anxious and I wasn't okay. And all these awesome things were happening in my life. I was playing basketball, soccer, I was acting, and every part of my life except for high school was so wonderful. But then I didn't have anyone to share it with. And I felt like no one was proud of me, and I really needed someone to be proud of me in high school. And then I moved to a school in Oshawa, and I graduated from there, and it was amazing. I met some incredible people there. I met my high school boyfriend there, and it was just like those 6 months of grade 12 were the best. That was the best time I had in high school. So the end kind of made up for the rest in a little way. But it was
so hard.
It was hard. And I don't ever want to go back to high school.
No, I don't either. And I had I cannot relate. So that's kudos to you. Like, honestly.
Thank you.
And question on that front of, like, was it, like, more direct, like cyberbullying in the halls, like, conversation, or was it just more like hearing, like, the little birdie in your ear, like, oh, here they go again about my acting career and stuff like that?
There was group chats that I would be in and then be not in. So there was, like, a chat that these girls made that I thought we were all friends, and they made a separate chat. And then I would find screenshots of their conversations on, like, Visco of, like, all we need is the three of us, or something like that. And then I would hear things in the halls. There was one girl who would come down the hall at me in grade 9 and just shout about The Next Step, the show that I was on, and made me feel really small and really uncomfortable. there was a time where I heard that this girl wanted to, like, find me outside after class.
I knew that was coming.
And I ran to the bathroom and I hid all day until my mom picked me up. So it was kind of a combination, but a lot of just feeling left out. I was never a victim of any kind of like physical bullying at all, but it was more so feeling left out or not being included. I was never invited to the parties. I never knew that they were happening. And sometimes I would find out on like Snapchat or something, or just hearing people say really negative things about me who I thought were my closest friends, or if I shared something in confidence, it would be used against me later. So I think the typical high school girl, mean girl situations, and it was so hard to navigate, because a lot of it too makes you like feel like you're going crazy.
But yeah.
And then you're paranoid all the time. And so sometimes like nothing would even happen, but I would just feel like something was going to, or they don't like me, no one's sitting with me today, or why are they all wearing these outfits? I thought we were dressing like this today. Like little things like that.
So-and-so talking about me. Are they looking at me right now?
Yeah.
Are they staring?
Yeah.
Should I sit there?
Yeah. And then
there's
when
thousands of thoughts.
Yeah, when I left my high school that my dad was at, I didn't tell anyone I was going, and I never got one text from anyone, any of my friends at that school, asking where I was, asking if I was okay, asking if I was coming back. Not that I needed them to, but it just sort of showed that I made the right choice to leave, and that I need to find people who would care, because that's what I have now, and I wish that I could give my younger self a hug, but I don't want to say I'm a better person for it, because it's not like I wish I went through that by any means, but I'm more grateful for the relationships that I have now.
I get that. I feel like it's just such a typical high school experience, unfortunately.
And from a small town too. Like, you meet the same people when you're 4 and you grow up until you're 18. So
you see them again in the summer.
Exactly. So it's not exactly avoidable unless you move. And I couldn't do it anymore.
And even if you go back, you're going to see them again.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see them again next weekend.
Totally.
You know, like it's one of those, it's like,
yeah,
no matter what, you're all from there.
Yeah. And people do grow up. So I want to, not
give people benefit of the doubt.
Totally.
For sure.
And like, I'm not speaking on who they are now at all. Because I do think that people can grow and change, and people are different.
I have for sure.
Exactly.
So I totally agree.
Yeah, people are different in high school than they are afterwards.
I hope.
Yeah. you gotta just, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't need to peak in high school. But yeah, anyways. Okay, well, in that all being said, and navigating high school, you'd say like coming out of that, the navigation would probably be just finding those people. Is that, would you say, like how you navigated it?
Yeah, I was very lucky. I had a lovely, wonderful boyfriend at the end of high school into college. So him and his family were a huge support system while I was transitioning to figuring out what I wanted to do next. And so that was a huge help, and it kind of helped bridge the gap. And then once I figured out where I wanted to go for college, I was just really excited to be in a space where no one knew me. I could find people that were so like-minded and kind and a little bit older. I took a year off after high school before I went to school. I tried to go to Ryerson. I didn't love it. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and so I took a year off. I went to LA, and then I came back, and then I moved closer to where my boyfriend lived, and just kind of had like a little break from everything.
Yeah.
And then I went to college, and I found my friends in the second semester of first year, and then COVID happened. Yeah, so we decided to take a road trip to Halifax before the residence got shut down. And on that trip, we got so close, and they are like my core group. I honestly have no clue what I would do without them. So I was very lucky to find them the way that I did, and to bond and grow as close as we did so fast. And like, I light up when I talk about them. I just love them so much.
You so do.
Yeah.
And like a road trip, be so
Yeah.
for real. That's such a like
It was
a
like
way to
18 hours.
bond. Okay, even more. Like
Yeah.
that's literally the biggest bonding experience.
Yeah,
ever.
it was amazing.
And the little vacation with it too. Like, oh, we love that.
We love
Okay,
it.
and you still talk to them now. To this
Oh my
day.
gosh,
Yeah,
every
yeah,
single day. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
like
are
besties.
the loves of my life. Yeah,
We love them. Aw.
yeah.
Okay, so, wow. Oh, okay, wait. Actually, that's really sweet. So, like I'd say with them is like, if it wasn't them who you're meeting, or maybe even them, like when you met them for the first time, like,
Yeah.
what do you want someone to take out of a conversation with you, or anyone for that matter? Like, what are you leaving a conversation with another person?
I want them to feel wanted and that they are enough. And that's so deep, but like,
It's true.
I never want someone to feel left out or that they don't matter.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how big or small the conversation is, that just is so important to me. I'm really not good at small talk, so sometimes I don't know what to say because I don't like surface level. I'm not good at it in the industry that I'm in. It's very hard to navigate, but I think I just want people to feel like warm, I guess. Heard, seen. That is what I would love to be the takeaway, I think, with after talking to me. Like, I actually do care.
No, I
Yeah.
can tell,
Yeah.
because I genuinely can tell that that's how you like act within conversation. Like you're
Yeah.
actively listening, actively pushing
Yeah.
this like closure narrative on the person. Like, well, it's always okay.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how it feels within
Yeah.
like a conversation with you. So
And if you're not okay,
agreed.
that's okay. And we can talk about
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay. So, and I feel like you're going to answer the question the exact same way, but what does success look like for you then? Like, not within the acting industry, not within social media. What does success within your core self look like?
Meaningful relationships with people. That is so, so important to me. If everything else went away, I wouldn't even care. Like, I value my family, my friends, my relationships so much that to me, success is being able to be intimate with people, not just in a physical way, but like in a mentally stimulating way, and to have such close community, because that's something that I didn't have when I was younger, and I valued it so much and I craved it so much. So if I can have that, that's all I need. Yeah.
Okay, like, I knew that was going to be said.
Yeah.
Like, so to a T, like, so perfect. Okay, we're going to dive more into the acting, the
Yay.
work, the life. We covered who Jenna is actually as a person and as, like, a whole and personality-wise. And I think the big thing that I really want to dive into more is how acting craves mystery. Acting craves the unknown.
Yeah.
But social media wants oversharing. Social media wants every detail of your life all
Yeah.
the time. And you're kind of in the mix of both worlds. So how do you navigate that?
This has been the question of the past 5 years, I would say. Like, if I could delete all of my social media, I would. And I have before. However, with acting, it is becoming more and more important to have a strong social media presence because it is starting to matter more. It used to be a thing where the ideation and the draw to these actors was that you don't know who they are, but you see them in so many different roles and you want to know more. It was that you don't know and you want to. But now with social media, it's pulling back so many layers and you have way more access to people than you ever could before. And so it's a fine line between wanting to come across as who you would want to be viewed, but then also not feeling like you have to post. It's such a tricky line because I want to be seen as a serious actor and contender with these huge roles, and sometimes having a social media presence is not what they want. But then on the flip side, they want you to have the followers and the numbers, and so it's it's like a balancing act, and I'm still trying to figure it out. But yeah, it's definitely affected the industry, I would say, like majorly since COVID.
Yeah, because it's that kind of idea of people knowing the character as their online persona more than the character in the movie. And that's hard. Like, and you can kind of resonate with that, the directing staff, I don't know, on that end. But it's like, how do you promote yourself, and how do you get bigger, and how do you push your career forward while still having that mysterious piece to you and being able to fit into all of these different roles? Like, that's hard.
It's
like,
so
how
hard.
do you do that?
Tell me, please.
Like, you tell me, please.
Yeah, literally. Like, it's so hard, because also, like, if you want to be so open and out there on social media, all the power to you. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it's and I kind of like, and we look at it from other actors, like, oh well, so and so is big online, and but they probably were in a movie that
it's like you need
gave them that kind of push up.
It's like you need the followers to get the show, but you need the show to get the followers. And in reality, I just want to act. So it's so strange that this is now like a new part of the industry that is just kind of like figured out.
Yeah, you do it.
Yeah.
So you've seen influencers go into the acting industry, though, and honestly been within roles within them. How would you say that's misconstrued online and within people? Like, how did you see that?
So at first it was frustrating because I judged like everyone else. I thought, wow, I've been working at this since I was 5 years old. I want this, and this person online is, you know, making TikToks, and now they're all of a sudden in a movie. But what I didn't like understand, that was probably from a point of jealousy and envy that I wish I could do that. But it's not the case at all. Like, I filmed Thanksgiving, and Addison Rae was a part of the cast. And when and I've had this conversation with her too, so she knows this. But when she was first announced, I was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, an influencer, like, that's so frustrating. Like, there's so many people who they work hard too. They're literally just a person who put their camera up. If you did that, you would be in the same position. So, like, stop. Also, she auditioned for the movie like 5 times. And she like worked her ass off, and she was so incredible and passionate on set. And just because she had a different path than I did doesn't make her any less than of an actor. And same with like Noah Beck. He is an influencer who has turned actor, or you know, has incorporated it into his life. I don't think it has to be black and white. Like, you can be any amount of things that you want to be. Like, you can be an influencer and an actor. Why does it have to be, you know, different? But I don't think people understand how much work really does go into making a movie, and that there is so much that you don't see. And so I have nothing but respect for people like Addison, who have so many people's opinions behind them and still go out and do what they want to do. Like, her dream was to become a singer and an actor, and her path to that was so different than mine. It doesn't make it hold any less value. And so that is something that I really, like, everyone in that position has like my full support, even though at first I didn't understand, because people judge what they don't understand. So
it's human.
Yeah.
It's human nature to judge what you don't understand,
Yeah.
right? So
yeah,
like,
it is what it is.
But the thing is if you're gonna act like you don't do that, that's a different story, because we all do. It's human. And that's also like why you can be like friends with people and be like, oh my gosh, when you started this, but I just wanted to tell you how wrong I was. Yeah. It's like that helps someone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was like a really great conversation that we had too, and we got really close, and I'm so thankful that I was able to have like that conversation with her. Sorry.
I know.
These flies.
I'm like driving myself nuts right now. I'm like, I think it's because I brought the wine down. But
that was needed.
whatever. It's need be.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Anyway, continue.
Oh, just I'm grateful that she proved me wrong in every way possible. And yeah, it was like,
it's like, I'm so happy you proved me wrong.
Yeah.
I like, in a way, maybe didn't want you to, but
Yeah.
I'm happy you did.
So happy.
And pushing, you just get to actually see the work that's put in.
Yeah, and you get to see the person too.
And the actual
yeah.
person.
At the end of the day, when everything is stripped down, we are people.
Human.
We're human. That's
With real emotions, real
Yeah.
families,
Yeah.
real lives.
you see a second of someone's whole life, so you really don't know anything.
No,
Yeah.
you don't. And exactly, like that one interaction and that one situation within seeing the influencers cross over into the acting
Yeah.
world, whenever you're on another set,
Yeah.
that's not going to be something that is a judgment in
No.
your mind.
Yeah.
It could be to other people, but that being said, you're in there and
Yeah.
being like, wait, I have
Yeah.
a story.
Yeah.
When I was on you know what I mean? You can tell that to someone.
Totally.
Be like, she killed it.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, give them a chance.
Yeah, I'll respect anyone who tries and who cares and who wants to do something they're passionate about. It's different if it's just handouts, but if someone is willing to put in the work and they want to grow and it's turned into such a creative outlet for them, all the power to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly. If you have this like genuine thought of, I didn't do that,
Yeah.
why do you give an excuse to someone who has,
Yeah.
if you did that to someone, you'd be like, yeah, that was rude.
Yeah.
Why do you think you empathize with everyone?
I think that people are so hard on themselves, myself as well.
Included.
And that, yes.
Yes.
Yes. I don't know. I wish I had like a better answer other than like.
There's no answer.
There's no
really.
answer.
You feel. But
Let's just say I care about the people I care about, and once I care about you, I don't stop. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And so, not to say people have unlimited chances with being a part of my life, but
you look at every factor within those
yeah.
situations.
And maybe that's not healthy to try and justify everything. Maybe it helps me feel better to think, no, this is going on too. Like, I know that this is happening and this, so he or she didn't actually mean that. And this is just, they're going through something right now, because everyone goes through things and you're not yourself when you're at like the lowest points of your life. And so you just never know when someone is at that point. And I think that I have a lot of grace for people, but something that people mistake with me is don't take my kindness for weakness. Like, I do hold out an olive branch for longer than I should, but it'll get cut at some point. So just like your time will come, not like that, but like there is a time and place where I know that enough is enough, and I know my worth now, and I never did before. I have worthy tattooed behind this ear, and I have breathe behind this, because I used to have insane panic attacks, and like when I would try and cope and like self-regulate, like this was the position that I would go to.
I do that too. That's crazy.
Yeah, so I was like,
because I find it more of like
it's almost like
a hug. Like
Yeah.
you're holding yourself,
Yeah.
and I like being in a corner
Yeah.
where like everything is touched, and then I'm holding me.
Yeah, like yeah. So
and
Yeah.
panic attacks, I struggle with panic attacks, so I can kind of.
Oh, yeah.
But I guess for people who don't, and
Yeah.
people who don't know panic attacks, like, how would you explain how your panic attacks
yeah.
felt, like from one to another?
Yeah. In high school, I would say it was a lot of hysterical crying and like shaking kind of, and I couldn't catch my breath. And I needed pressure on my chest. And so my dad would always like really like squeeze me, give me a good hug. And I did need reassurance that I was okay and I can breathe and you'll get through
You're
this.
not
But when
dying.
you're in that moment, it feels like you're never going to get out. And then over the past, in my late teens, early 20s, I had panic attacks and anxiety attacks all the time. And that a lot of the time was, again, the hysterical sort of crying, the breathing. I felt like I had no control over my breath. I couldn't get it back. There was nothing I could do to calm me down when it was happening, because I didn't learn how to. It just kind of started happening one day, and I went to the hospital for a panic attack once because I thought I was like,
A lot of people do.
yeah, and
'Cause it feels like you're dying.
it really
and each time
does.
it's different.
Yeah,
and it
it's
feels like you're dying a different way.
yeah, like a sharp like pains, like needles, and like at the time I I had someone who was really good at helping with that, and I would sleep with a weighted blanket, or I would just lay on my bed, and he knew to like come and lay on top of me and like put pressure on my chest. And so at that time in my life, how I got through my panic attacks was heavily relying on another person.
Which is really hard.
It's really hard.
On both ends.
Yeah, on both ends. And they're not always going to be there sometimes. So you have to learn how to...
I had that issue too.
Yeah. But the last sort of anxiety moment I had was a few months ago in LA when I was struggling with the whole, I miss my community, the things that I actually value the most. It was so hard. I hadn't had one of those in probably 3-4 years. And so I didn't know what was happening. And I was lucky that I've done so much work on myself that I was able to self-regulate. Yeah, like a very different person now. And so it's all a learning curve.
But no, I get what you're saying. It's to go from being with somebody, and I can resonate with this, and this, I don't want to put words in your mouth, so it's just like my own issues, or I don't know how you put it.
Yeah.
But to feel like somebody knows how to handle your like panic attacks or your episodes better than you do is really scary.
It's so scary.
And it gives this piece of, for me, it's like, how? Mm-hmm. I'm like, why?
Yeah, and then you put so much value on that other person.
Because why can you do that? Mm-hmm. Right? And you get into this moment, but truthfully, I say in the way of, that can't be a part of your life that wasn't a learning curve. Totally. And those learning lessons. And thank God I can have trust in myself and feel for myself and do everything for me, because you're right, like in moments like that and with someone who you heavily are relying on, especially within panic disorder, it's people who don't struggle with panic disorder, or I'm not diagnosing you, but I struggle with panic disorder. Mm-hmm. It's horrifying, and each panic attack feels like you're dying in a different way, and heart attack or not breathing, or you can keep naming them. Yeah. And then you have like a panic attack hangover for the next like 2 to 3 days after that. Like you don't feel that real. This whole thing. But when you're relying on someone to that extent, it's so hard to break that pattern, because every time you're in a panic attack, it's easy to go back to that. Yeah. Like
it's hard
I'm
to
safe.
It's hard to
navigate.
It's hard to be like, I can do this myself. It's hard to look within and find strength within yourself to be like, no, I can do this. I'm okay. I can be on my own. I am strong. I am worthy. All of those things. It's really it's easy to say them. It's really hard to truly believe them. Yeah.
And like act within them.
Yeah,
right?
and like live in that. Like live in that. I do believe myself. I am worthy.
And keep pushing and keep throwing that in, and in those moments of like, oh my God, I'm dying, and I feel like you're the only person who can help me.
Yeah.
It's once you get to the point where you're at now, and you handle it yourself, and you know how to talk yourself down mentally, and whatever you need to do, and you've said to me off camera that you like to meditate and all these things to really pull yourself together. And again, off camera has also told me that she's done so much work for herself, like very like snaps for you on that one.
Yeah.
But that's where, when you're at the stage you're at now,
Yeah.
it's better to be with someone like to go back and to kind of circle back to that moment of, okay, you knew how to comfort me then, but I got me now.
Yeah.
Like, I got me now, and you have to have you
Yeah.
before jumping in with someone else.
Totally.
And is that something that you could, like, even, like, look back on and, like,
Yeah.
that relationship and be like, well, yeah, like, I think I needed to find me too, and I think it was
Yeah.
kind of both parties.
Totally. Yeah. Looking back at that specific relationship that I was in, I held him in such a high regard, and I still definitely do.
Yeah.
But I didn't hold myself in any regard. I placed all of my worth and value in someone else's hands. And when you do that, it's like a slippery slope. But I also was so young. I didn't know who I was. I knew who maybe I thought I was or who I wanted to be, but I hadn't experienced enough life yet to really know. And so I am so thankful that I am where I am now, and I don't want to discredit anything in that past.
You need to do that,
yeah.
right? To become the person you are now.
Yeah, like I like to think, like I don't ever want to look back in my life and have regrets, obviously. So everything happens for a reason, even if you don't know the reason at that time. Everything will make sense one day, and everything's okay in the end. So if you're in a place where you're not okay, well, that's good, because it's not the end of your story, of that chapter of your journey. And so, yeah, I wouldn't be who I am or where I am today without that, like, time in my life.
And that time in your life is, we're gonna, like, circle back there. And that time in your life, what was your work life looking like while you were also in, like, such a strong relationship? It's like strong emotions. It's like when the love is so high.
It's like your first love.
It's your first love, and
Yeah.
it's that obsessed with being loved. And who wouldn't be? We all want it. It's humanity to be wanting to feel heard and seen. It's literally what humans want. So feeling that to that extent at the first time, what was also going on in your career life, school life? What was going on?
It was crazy. I was in school at the same time. I was living in Toronto. I had a boyfriend at the time, and so it was a constant, like, juggle of memorizing weird hours of waking up, being away from home for so long, finishing 5 essays at once. All of it just was. It was 24/7 for around 2 months of my life, and it was the most incredible experience, but it was hard. Like, it was amazing, and I loved every second of it, and I look back and I am so thankful that that happened to me. Like, I made such incredible friends, filmed a really cool movie that I can't even believe that I'm a part of. But yeah, it was rough.
Yeah. Side note, you did an insane job in that movie.
Thank you.
Like, wow.
Yeah.
Holy wow. Where'd you go to school, though?
I went to school at Humber.
Humber. And that, what were you taking?
I was in advertising and marketing communications.
Why advertising?
I started school in film and media production
Okay.
because I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I loved acting. And so I thought, maybe I'll do that. And then I did it before COVID. I really didn't like it. It kind of took the magic away from me of, like, being on set. And so during COVID, I realized I really loved being creative in other ways other than acting. And so at this point, too, I had gained a little bit of a following on social media before influencers were really, like, a thing. And so I had some companies reach out and send me some products, and they really liked what I did with the content and the products. And so I ended up doing social media management for one of these companies for, like, I don't know, like 6 months or something, and I loved it. I loved every part of it, and I thought, maybe I could go to school for this, because this is something that I could also do while I'm not acting, or if I'm on set, it's more flexible. I can work from home, I can work from wherever. And I was really happy that I found something that I could incorporate into like my life and you know, moving forward. So I went back to school for advertising and marketing. And of course, as soon as I find a program that I love, I book Thanksgiving. And when it rains, it pours, in like the best ways and the worst ways at the same time. So I was like on such a high. I booked this movie, and I didn't realize also how big it was going to be. I had no idea how big Thanksgiving was going to be, even when I was filming it.
Massive.
Yeah, and so it was my first time experiencing being on a project to that capacity, while also juggling being a full-time student, while also being in a long-term relationship that I really, really wanted to give my all to. And so I was being pulled in so many different directions, and it was a lot of really high highs and a lot of really low lows. And so it was so confusing for me, because I was so happy to be on set. I was so happy to come back to my partner and tell him about it. I was so stressed with the amount of school that was going on, but I was so grateful I could be in school. And then I'm doing night shoots, so I'm waking up at 6 p.m., shooting all the way until 6 a.m., and then I have like a mandatory in-person lecture. Well, I'm not in the city right now, so I can't go. So then I had to take a fail on a certain project, and it was a lot. It was like chaos, and everything started and stopped within 2 months. And so to say Thanksgiving changed my life is like an understatement, because in the best way it did, and also it definitely had some like personal repercussions.
What would you say you'd consider your like personal repercussions?
I think that it impacted my personal relationship with my partner at the time, and some of my friendships as well, because I was gone like all the time. But when I was gone, I was experiencing some of the most incredible moments of my life. With that became, when you're on set, you're so consumed with what's going on, because you have to be. It's a job. And even off of set, there's a lot that goes into it. You have to go to these dinners. You have to spend time with the cast. And it was so exciting. And so I was not fully present in the relationship that I was in, because I was so distracted with the filming and managing school and my grades. But I'm not good at framing this.
It's hard. It's
hard.
hard. Like all of that's hard. You have 100 things you're juggling all at once. One, I go to school. It's so hard. Like even with a lighter course load, it's really tough. Girl, you're on set getting emails from profs. You're missing classes. You're missing assignments. Assignments are due in 2 days. You're getting the emails.
Home in 2 weeks.
Exactly. Let's be so for real right now. The full-time job you're saying is not the average full-time job.
No.
Okay, so from the average person to look at that as your full-time job is really difficult. Mm-hmm. And even like I'll look at myself, and I look at my boyfriend went away to school for hockey, and I'm so proud of him, and we're so happy. And I'm at home doing the same thing, and I live with my dad. Mm-hmm. So obviously it's a really hard pill to kind of navigate and digest. And what I'm saying is something a lot of people do and go through. You, on the other hand, you're on set with some of the biggest actors known. You're on set with Patrick Dempsey. You're on set with, I forget his name.
Rick Hoffman.
Rick Hoffman.
Yeah.
You're on
Uncle
set
Rick.
with all of these incredible, world-renowned actors. Mm-hmm. No wonder it's hard when you have not only that to juggle. Yeah. You're also juggling trying to, and from knowing you, and I feel like people can definitely pick this up within talking to feeling how you talk within this episode is you're so loving and caring that it hurts you to not give 100%.
Exactly. Yeah.
in those relationships, if you're giving 100%, girl, that's almost impossible to give 100% to all the things you were trying to give to.
Yeah, and looking back, like, I learned so much. I am, like, everything is 50, not everything is 100%. Sometimes you give 10, sometimes you give 90, sometimes you give 80, 20, and, you know, all of that being said, sometimes things don't pan out the way you think that they are, but it's all just a part of life, and you have no idea what's coming next.
And that's kind of the point.
Totally.
You wouldn't change that.
No.
And you wouldn't change these stepping stones. So during Thanksgiving, you're on the high of your life.
Yeah.
You're the career high of your life. And the busiest you've probably ever been in your life. And when it's done, what was that like?
Horrible.
Yeah.
So Thanksgiving ended in April, I think, and I finished exams, and everything was wrapping up, and while everything was wrapping up, my relationship ended on the last day of filming.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's okay. So having, you know, coming off of this high, being so excited to, you know, get back to normal and connect with my friends again and my partner and everything.
Yeah, and be there.
It all came like crashing down. And so coming off of the high of being needed and wanted and valued every single day on set and in my personal life and at school, to then just like come home and be alone and no school to do. I was so lost, and it took me a really long time to like understand why that happened. I think it goes back to not feeling like I was enough, that I held value in things that could disappear at any moment, like being on set or being in a relationship. And so it led to a really big journey of like self-love and self-discovery. And so it was a wake-up call as well, because it was just a taste of what some people go through in this industry of like the highs and lows. I know that my story like isn't unique at all in that sense, in that like everybody goes through things like that. But it was a lot to deal with like all at once, and it kind of felt like it wasn't real, you know?
It's like a fever dream.
I was living in a fever dream for months afterwards. I didn't know how to get into my own body again after, but then I did.
And here we are.
And here we are.
And that being said, like last day of filming, that doesn't mean the movie's over.
No.
That we have just started, baby.
We have just
begun. Yep. And that means that here comes the marketing, and here comes the trailer, and here comes, and congratulations, by the way, for being literally the first clip of the trailer.
That was
insane.
So cool.
How did that feel? Like, side note, how did that feel?
That was insane. I had moved in with another girl who I met in the movie. Her name is Shaylin Griffin, and so we were living together at the time that all of this was happening. And I got sent the trailer, and I was like, Shay, we have to watch this. So we watched it, and we filmed our reaction to it. I started bawling. I couldn't believe it. I know. I think I still have it, and so it was crazy. I couldn't believe that so many people were gonna see that. Like, and then the numbers started rolling in, and it's like millions and millions and millions saw the trailer, and I was like, this is so cool. And then, yeah, it was a really cool, like, rewarding feeling of like, I did that. Like, my dream since I was a little girl is like happening right now. Like, I'm going through it, and that was, like, I don't even have words.
Yeah,
it was incredible. Any. Yeah, I was really proud of myself.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah.
Your acting is nuts.
Thank you.
To actually, like, know you as a person now and then look at the acting, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of scary. I'm like, as a friend, I'm like, okay, like, are you real?
Yeah.
Like, your acting is so good.
Thank you.
So, like, yeah, kudos to you. You deserved it.
Thank you.
So we'll put that there and we'll lay that one down.
Yeah.
But again, like, the trailer comes out. You're on a high,
Yeah.
right? You're on this high, and then, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're on the high, and then there comes the low.
Yeah.
Because it's, oh shit, reality sets back in.
Mhm.
I'm still going through a breakup.
Yeah.
With my best friend, who was my partner I lived with.
Yeah.
What the heck? I can't
Yeah.
call you and tell you I'm the beginning clip of the trailer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw that or not.
Mhm.
Like, that's so difficult. So,
Yeah.
give me, what was happening then? Like, the ups, the downs, what was going on?
Yeah, I think that the hard part about when you have so many wonderful things happen to you is when it happens when the people who you think are going to be there aren't there. You know, like, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, if everything was taken away, if I still had my people, that's what I like call success. That's what matters to me. So it was such a weird year to navigate, like, all these cool things happening, and at the time, the only person I wanted to talk to about it, I couldn't. And that was really difficult, and I'm so grateful I had so many wonderful friends, and like they really rallied around me through that year, because it was like supposed to be one of the most wonderful, exciting years of my life. I get to do all of this press, and also that the strike happened in Hollywood, so that put a huge dent in sort of the marketing plans and all these cool things we were going to do. We couldn't. So that was also really hard to navigate, because I was so excited for all the other cool stuff that could happen with filming a movie like this. So yeah, it was a bunch of really wonderful moments that I just pictured so differently. Not to take away from how wonderful they were. I was so proud of myself, and I was proud that I did it myself, and that I was just so proud that I had picked myself up, and that I was, my own cheerleader.
Yeah.
I was there for me.
You were there.
So,
You were
yeah.
there for you, and
Yeah.
and I think that's such a pivotal step
Yeah.
in self-growth.
Totally.
Self-growth.
Self-growth.
That's such a pivotal step in self. I'm just gonna keep it like that.
Not fresh shaking his head.
They know what you're trying to say.
Such a huge step
Yeah.
in your self-growth journey.
There you go.
And coming out of that, it's, okay, I had all these things that happened to me, and I got through it,
Yeah.
and here I am, and I have myself, and I'm good by myself.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that that's actually the biggest step before even getting into a relationship
Oh my gosh.
or seeing someone or doing anything.
Yeah.
And if you look at yourself now, is that something that gave you stepping stones and that love journey and the self-love journey for yourself into your next relationship or into this next chapter of your life? Do you think you had to go through that to be where you are?
Totally. Yeah, I always loved other people more than I loved myself, and that was the biggest problem, is that I didn't hold myself to the same regard that I held other people to, in like friendships and relationships and in whatever. And so going through that at the age that I did, I think that's a time in people's lives too where everybody's learning things about themselves, you're growing, and so I would not be who I am now if I didn't go through that hard heartbreak that everybody happens to go through at some point in their lives. And like, I would have never moved to LA.
During Thanksgiving, you were living in Toronto.
Yep.
And then after Thanksgiving, were you still living in Toronto? Did you move,
Yeah.
relocate? What's the vibes there?
Yeah, so after filming, I moved in with one of my castmates, Shay, and finished out school for the next year. Still auditioning. I was also doing an internship with which is how
Okay.
hockey kind of comes into my life. It was because of that. And then after I graduated, I started working. I went to Halifax for a few months, and then I got a job with. And so I was doing that. Then my visa came in the mail. I got my O1 visa, my visa which allows me to do acting
Your
and
work
live and work in the
visa, yeah.
States. Yeah. And so as soon as I got that, I was like, I have to go. Like, I have nothing keeping me in Ontario anymore. I have to do this for myself. I was so scared, but I also knew that I was more ready than ever to leave home and to be on the other side of the continent, the continent in a different country. I moved from the east to the west coast, and so I was so far away, and I was in a different country, and I knew that I could handle this now. And yeah, I've been there for almost a year, and I couldn't be more proud of myself for actually
I'm happy
doing
you said
it.
that.
Yeah.
That's good. Like, I need to even, like, say that about myself where I'm like, I'm proud of myself. I'm glad you're proud of yourself because I'm proud of you. That's, like, such a
Thank you.
massive accomplishment, especially from, like, an Ontario girly myself.
I know, I got out.
We got out.
The small town.
No, I did not. But she did.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you. Like, that's
you.
huge.
Yeah.
Okay, well, LA, like, topic of LA. How's the dating life in LA like? She's like, I don't know. It's kind of cruel.
It's people.
I feel like it's huge.
It's so big, and people are so different than back home. Like, I'm sorry, if you're looking at yourself in the mirror or in your reflection more than you're looking at me, we have a problem. You know what I mean?
And that's probably way more common than people think.
LA in general, like, don't get me wrong, I love it. I have created a nice little,
It's a good workplace, though.
Yeah, a nice little life for myself there. I'm starting to. But yeah, the dating scene has been like so interesting. I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for, and I can very quickly kind of tell if maybe you're not my vibe.
Yeah, if I'm in or not.
And yes, there are so many people that live in LA, but it's like a same word, different font kind of thing, and it's just not the font that I want. That's a terrible way to put it.
No,
but you know
it's
what
not,
I mean?
though.
My people just like, I don't see my husband being in LA, and I'm definitely like a date with intention kind of person, so.
LA does not seem like that place.
No, let's just say that surfer boys and hockey boards are the exact same. The exact same. I was seeing someone for quite a while, and the amount of, sorry babe, I'm in the water. I've been in the water for 5 hours. It's like the same as the golf course, except for, at least on the golf course, they have reception.
They're not in the water.
They're not in the water.
On the phone.
On the board. I mean, not that the Toronto dating scene is any better, but LA it's full of characters.
Yeah, but actually though, and I think
Truly.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
Is that these aren't actually, this is not your true character.
No, and like, because it goes back to like what I hold true to myself. Like, I can sniff things out in LA so much easier than maybe I could 5 years ago. And so that's when I knew I was ready to go. It's just the amount of sniffing you have to do. Oh my gosh. You definitely have to find your people and you'll be fine. But
In the industry you're in, it's even harder to find somebody.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And I don't really think that I associate, like, I don't think that my personality and what's important to me and where I see myself sort of aligns with the typical maybe persona or someone you
doesn't.
would think an actor would be like. But
it's
Yeah.
so far from, like, truly,
Yeah.
like, fully, you are the last person who I would think would enjoy LA.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I would see you on the water, on a little farm
Yeah.
with your dog and maybe a horse
No,
and
literally.
going out and your chicken's laying eggs for you. Like, genuinely, I see you liking the small things.
The small things
Like-
are everything. Like, that's how I've been able to figure out LA, is all of the little things and like the lack of nature. I find it though. I find nature
She
everywhere.
finds it, she'll walk for that.
I literally will walk for that. But yeah, no, it's been a lot. The fires happened. I had a crazy roommate situation. I can't even get into that because
No,
it is.
fair.
I can't.
It's just
believe it
one of
happened.
those.
It was just like the classic "you moved to LA" story. I definitely have one of those, but it.
What's like a long story short of classic you moved to LA? It doesn't need to be like your
gosh.
story, but it can be like a reference so someone knows what you mean when you
I
say
know
that.
the classic move to LA. Like, I'll just give a Cliff's Notes of mine. The fires happened as soon as I moved to LA. a new president happened, so the government shifted.
So much happening.
Then there was, then I had a crazy roommate. Of course, everyone has a crazy roommate.
We
I
all
almost
do.
moved home because it was so insane. I had so much trouble finding, you know, real good people who didn't want to sort of use me for X, Y, Z. And I found a really awesome group. But basically, it's like everybody has a story when they move where it just
Being
everything
used
was
in a
wrong.
way?
Yeah, yeah, everything went wrong, and I was so close to coming home, but I'm really proud that I didn't. I don't know how much longer I'll stay there.
But you've done your time.
Exactly, and at one point, I might have stayed to prove a point to people other than myself, and I am not there anymore. I could come home tomorrow, and I literally like, oh my gosh.
I watched that happen.
Yeah, and I would be so happy and confident and okay with my decision.
Have you dated anyone in LA?
Yes, here and there, but like, I would say no. Like nothing more than a few dates, a few months here and there. Nothing serious. Yeah.
So you'd say your last partner, who you were with during the filming of Thanksgiving, is like the last like serious relationship you were in.
Definitely.
And
Yeah.
how did that end?
Honestly, it was really hard. But honestly, like, I am so grateful for him. I have nothing but love in my heart for him. I want nothing but, like, the best for him and whatever he does next. And it, like I said, when I care about someone or when I love someone, it doesn't just, like, end. There's no expiration date for me. So, yeah, I just hope he's doing well.
It's
Yeah.
really sweet to see how loving and big your heart is.
Thank you.
And you can tell when it comes
Yeah.
to, I just want everyone to be happy.
Yeah.
And it's so genuine when you
And
say
that's,
that.
like, not an easy thing to say.
And
yeah.
mean, that's
Yeah.
really not easy.
Yeah. With friends, too, like, even if we don't speak for years, like,
Call me.
If something happens, I will be on a flight. Like, that's just, like, how my brain operates, and I love that about myself. And don't get me wrong.
And I love that
sometimes-
about her too. I can tell. I've met her for 2 days. I can tell.
Yeah, sometimes it's like I make it a lot harder for myself being that way sometimes, but like I wouldn't change. I'm so thankful that I have the heart that I do. My sister and I actually had a conversation about this because she's getting married, and so that brought up some emotions, of course, and she was like, Jenna, I am so proud of you for feeling still, for like feeling how much you feel, because there was a point in time where I honestly couldn't feel anything. And so we had like a really beautiful conversation. She's like, you feel so much for people. That is like a gift. And sometimes it sucks, but like I'm so thankful that I can feel and that I have that my heart can rebound and that like I can rebound. Like I'm grateful I'm not bitter for things that I have gone through, you know?
And you've always loved everyone fully. Like you've never loved anyone half-assed. And you can tell, and I genuinely appreciate that. Like even within knowing you for whatever time I have, it's like I feel like I could call you. Yeah. Even if we don't know each other that well, it's you're going to listen to me, you're going to hear me, and you're going to see me. No matter whether you empathize, you'll always empathize with me, but you'll maybe not personally understand exactly the position I'm in, but you'll be able to go, okay, well, let's look at this side of it and look at the bright side of it. Like going back to even the beginning of you saying like what your friends would say, you are a ray of sunshine. Like that is like completely the thing that you would portray to anyone. So that being said, acting has always been such a massive part of your life.
Yeah.
And even before moving to LA, it's been something that played a role. Mm-hmm. But that being said, acting hasn't just been the only job you've done. So I want to go back in time to what you were doing before you went to LA and pursued your acting career a little bit more further.
Yeah, I was working, I had a few jobs in like PR and advertising and doing marketing and media for different companies, and then I stumbled upon a job in the OHL. I was a manager at one of the teams, their media and communications department, and I did that for about 3-4 months before I decided to leave and go to LA.
Okay. And do you think that maybe even subconsciously that being in the hockey world and the OHL world in specifics prepared you for moving to LA and that Hollywood kind of energy?
I'm not sure. I think that just my life up until that point and growing up in an industry where I had to be able to navigate working and communicating with adults since the age of 6, I think that sort of is really what prepped me to go to LA. But I do have to say that working in hockey and working in a male-dominated industry has a lot of similarities with the acting industry as well, because, you know, in terms of finances, in terms of decision making, in terms of sort of who calls the shots, predominantly the film industry has been run by men. And so it's becoming a lot better, and there's so many incredible female directors and producers and production houses and just badass women like owning their shit and taking a stand and being like, this is how we're gonna do it now. Hockey still has a long, long way to go with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. So, that being said, what was your time like in the hockey world? And what did you do and what teams?
Yeah, at first I was doing an internship with, I'm not going to say the teams though, but I was doing an internship with one of the teams for a year and a half, and I still kind of go back sometimes and help out. That was incredible. I had such an amazing team in the back office, and the guys really respected us, and it was honestly euphoric. I was shocked at how incredible of an experience, and that my voice mattered and it was heard and my ideas were working, and I had such an awesome time, and that's what led me to then want to actually work in the field while I was sort of waiting for my visa to come in, waiting on that next part, because I love hockey. I love that whole, that's how I grew up. So it was cool to then be a part of it and be a small piece of like someone's career and helping shape how the team is viewed on social media, or shape how we can promote and pitch this player for different things, and kind of give them a little bit more of a story behind their social media, because that does matter too now. And so I was doing a lot of one-on-one sort of working with players and helping to navigate media appearances, and also helping to grow their TikTok and their Instagram and their socials, and writing articles, which is something I'd never done before. And unfortunately, I did not have the best experience in that regard. The players were incredible, so respectful. They really like valued what I was doing,
your friend.
which was so cool. Like because you know, it's hard to get a bunch of 16-year-old guys to do a TikTok, but they honestly like warmed up to it, and I got to learn who they were on and off the ice, which was so cool. But unfortunately,
It's a hard industry.
It's a hard industry for women to be in, and that is how I will put it. I had to leave for myself, and I knew that I was worth more than what was happening to me. And I was like, no, this is not going to be my story. And so, yeah, I left, and then timing worked out. I went to LA like 2 months later. So everything happens for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah.
You're totally right.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it's like you have to go through these things.
Yeah.
And as much as you don't really want to, it's like you learn people's intentions, and you learn people's messages that they're sending without sending them. And I'm sure that had a lot of part and a massive role to play in how you navigated yourself in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, it's like that comparison between such male-dominated industries that I think that realistically, that being in the OHL world and the time you spent there did really prepare you for
Yeah.
Hollywood in a way, because you got to really go into this with this mindset of,
Yeah.
no, I know what I'm worth. Like, I know what
Yeah.
I need.
I'm a recovering people pleaser, and so being in situations like that where I have to make decisions that I sometimes wish could be made for me,
Yeah.
it was like empowering, even though it was extremely emotional, and I, obviously wish things had gone differently. Who I am now, I wish that like myself even 4, 5, 6 years ago could look at me now and say like, you can say no, you can be bold, you can be brave, you can make decisions. You can make decisions for yourself even if it upsets other people. That is crazy, and no is a full sentence. Those two things are like, those would shock me years ago that I'm where I am today. And so I am so proud and I'm proud that I can say I'm proud of myself, because that was a sentence that I never said. And because sometimes people get like shit on for being happy with themselves and being proud of themselves. And so I am so happy with where I am at, with who I am, with who I surround myself with. And like, it's like so cool that I'm like proud and happy of myself, and it's okay that that's where I'm at. That's amazing that that's where I'm at. And I really like couldn't care less if someone doesn't see that. Like that's how it is. I'm happy. Yeah. I'm good. I'm chilling. Which is like a super fun place to be as like a 25-year-old. It's awesome that I went through, life and learned that at such a young age, and that I can take this like growth and new perspective on life like, with me. Yep, and the fruit flies.
Yeah. I hope you don't take.
I hope I don't
on
take the fruit flies.
But you actually just answered my last question for me without me even having to ask it. And the question was truly just, you've talked about your negative struggles in your life and all these things that have impacted you. You've also talked about your career wins and career highs, but also the realism behind that and what it really means to put your all into everything at every point in time. So like it's just very admirable to see the stance you're at now, and I hope that the people at home can see that you are growing and thriving and learning your lessons, and instead of taking these negative encounters with people or negative experiences as a jab at yourself, which that's something I'm guilty of doing all the time, is thinking it's about me, and to really look and see like, this has nothing to do with me. Like, I'm happy, I'm proud of myself, I've done what I didn't think I was gonna do, is massive. And you're right, at the age you're at, even more massive. Like, your kids will be very lucky to have someone who has that idea of life, right? So honestly, I'm so happy with you coming on and telling your story and just being so wholeheartedly yourself. And like, I can attest to this, like, from meeting her for the time I did. Nothing has nothing has changed in her persona from cameras on and cameras off. Not something that I truly have so much like value and pride in for you. And as you're a fucking actor, like, you should be wouldn't you be like fake, low key? Like, I would think you're not.
Thank you.
You're very you.
Yeah.
And I'm just so happy that people get to see that, like,
and thanks for giving me
side
like
of you.
the chance to like speak on things besides just acting, because that's like kind of a curtain that I hide behind, is not ever acknowledging me, because I'm asked about my work, my performances, who I've worked with, and that's like, I'm so happy to answer that. But it's kind of cool to sort of peel it back and be like, yeah, all this awesome stuff is happening, but real life was going on too. Like, I also have diabetes, which I like haven't even mentioned because that's just a part of my life.
It's
and
who you are.
It's like not who I am, it's just a part of me. And everything we've talked about does not define me, it's just little parts. So it's cool to be able to sort of talk about that. And like, it was like scary for me. Like, I don't like talking about myself or like different life things. So it was cool to not have to hide behind a project or a title or a castmate or character. You just like talk to me. So thanks for doing that.
That being said, I am so thankful and beyond grateful that the Busy Brain community gets to really experience who you are out of a character and out of a role and out of the screen, and peel back that curtain and really look at who Jenna Warren is behind the camera, because you are literally so much, like, your characters are everything, but you are everything. So to wrap it all up, thank you for coming and thank you for being on the Busy Brain podcast. We were so grateful to have you, and yeah, like, you are the epitome of a guest that I would want. I've had my run-ins with my guests, but you have been fantastic, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.